guys, it's not a vlog, it's not a podcast, it's just the tea. Okay, so today we will be talking about the steps of buying. And if you don't know, I have written a Nova Scotia first-time home buyer's guide. It has tons of useful information. It does go through the steps of buying, the whole entire process in case you've, never done it before. No question when it comes to real estate is a stupid question. The only stupid question is the unasked questions, as they say. So the first thing you're going to want to do, of course, is get a trustworthy realtor. You'll want to match up with somebody who you can vibe with. Just like anything in life, finding the right match is always super important. So I tend to draw in a lot of folks who are dog lovers, and that makes sense because I have my late dog Diamond on all of my marketing material, and I have 6 dogs. I donate a portion of all my sales to the Nova Scotia SPCA, and I also have Diamonds Forever Homes charity. If you don't know, I'll post the link. Let's get into it. So the first step of buying a home is finding the right realtor. Of course, that's step 1. Step 2 is, of course, viewing homes. You want to think about what you're looking for in a home. How many bedrooms? How many bathrooms? How many square feet? Do you need a yard? Does it need to be fenced? What neighborhood do you live in? Do you have kids? Is it in their school district? How is the commute to work? Then it's your realtor's job to find those matches for you. Once you find those matches, you go out and you view the homes. Now, the home viewing process it can be quite interesting at times. Most people work 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. So weekends tend to be very busy for home showings. That's for sure. I always say realtors work the most on the weekends, and that is true. Okay, so once you've found a home that you've fallen in love with, don't offer on it just yet. Sleep on it. You'll want to go home and you'll want to talk to your spouse or, a loved one, family member, parent, whatever. Talk it over, mull it over in your head, and if you still feel that excited about the home the next day, then call your realtor and say, I've thought it over and I'm ready to put in the offer. So that's when your realtor will write the offer for you on that home. Next, once your offer is accepted, yay! Okay, so your offer has been accepted for your perfect home. Usually it's 2 weeks they'll leave for your conditions period. In this time, the buyer has that amount of time to get their financing, home insurance, inspection, verification of property tax, everything in place that they need. They'll usually have that 2-week conditional period window to get that all together. So in that time, you'll want to call about home insurance. You'll want to call and book a home inspection, and it's always a good idea for you to be present for the home inspection. Meet your home inspector. Regardless if you're there or not, legally your realtor will be there. Once the inspection is complete, the inspector will forward you the full report, itemizing things that, may need your attention. Maybe some things need to be fixed or replaced immediately before closing. Maybe some things are, things you can check off the list after you move in, but he'll categorize all of those for you. If you're looking for a good home inspector, please reach out. I'm happy to recommend. Absolutely, as soon as you get an accepted offer, you're going to want to reach out to your mortgage broker or your bank, whoever you had a pre-approval in place with, and let them know that you've just received an accepted offer. Your real estate agent is going to forward those documents over to your finance person. Usually with your pre-approval, you'll have a list of conditions that you have to meet, like letter of employment, last year's T4, recent pay stubs, proof of down payment, and proof of closing in your bank account. There'll be a list of items that you need to produce for your financing person. Now is the time to do that, because you have that 2-week condition date window to get all of that in place and finalized. Okay, so the 2 weeks has gone by, you've had your inspection. If there was anything that came up on your inspection report, you've negotiated that. You have your home insurance in place, you've called the insurance company, they've confirmed insurability on that address, and your financing is complete. Your finance person has let you know that they do have confirmation of funding and they are broker complete or funding complete. Next steps. This is when the listing agent realtor will be hanging the sold sign on your new home. This is an exciting day. This is when everything is firm and everything is confirmed. You just bought a house. Okay, so now from firm date until closing date, whenever that is, sometimes it's a week, sometimes it's a month, sometimes it's 2 months, whenever it may be, in that time, your job is you have to get the movers in, and you have to call Nova Scotia Power. You have to make sure that your power is flicked on the date that you're moving in. Same with, Bell Alliant or Eastlink, your internet, your home phone, your cable, your satellite provider. This is your time now that everything is official to book all of those things. So your movers, your utilities, if there's gas, you need to do all of that. Oil, you have to figure that out. It's also a good time to figure out when garbage day collection is. If your child is switching schools, make sure that the school has the new attendee information. All of those things. Finally, we're approaching closing day. You've been living in boxes. You're ready to move into your new home. You're going to do the final walkthrough. You will meet your realtor, usually the day before or the morning of closing, and you'll do a last minute walkthrough. So what this does is this ensures everything has been moved out from the sellers. They have all of their belongings packed up and moved out. All 5 appliances are still there. Nothing has changed since the home inspection. All the appliances work. There's no holes in the walls, things like that. So that'll be a final walkthrough. It usually only takes about 20 minutes, if that. And once you've finished walking through the home and verifying that everything is good to go, that's when your realtor will call the lawyer's office and say, we are clear to close because the pre-closing walkthrough went well. Now, closing day. You won't just wake up and be able to move in. You're going to have to wait for the lawyer to call and confirm that everything is closed. There's a lot of moving parts in the background happening. So, the lawyer is going to be receiving the funds from your lender, your mortgage company, and it has to be transferred over to the seller's lawyer. Everything has to be checked off, verified, checked twice before you can actually physically move in. So at this point, your real estate agent will have your keys, and you, on closing day, will be waiting for your real estate agent to call you and say, yep, let's meet up. I can give you the keys now. We are closed. So this can happen anywhere between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m., depending on what time your lawyer's office is opened on that day. There is instances where things, go awry, and sometimes closing gets put off an extra day or even 2 sometimes. Things happen, things can pop up. Rare, but it can happen. It's always a good idea to book your movers for the day after closing date, because the last thing you want is 9 a.m. to be packing up the U-Haul, ready to move, and then sitting around in the U-Haul waiting all day for the keys to be released to you. That doesn't actually happen until, 4:45 p.m. That's a long day of waiting around, and you don't want to do that. Always make sure that you book your movers the day after closing day, just to be on the safe side.